that time of year again? Love Day! If you go in the woods today, you're certainly to find
teddy bears. Nothing says Valentine's Day like teddy bear cupcakes. So we're going to work on some teddy bear cupcakes today. And the thing that I'm going to start with is a Reese's cup and some little chocolate melts. The direction I'm going with this is I'm going to be making something like this. So here goes. I have a little cutter. And I'm just going to cut the edge off of these, especially if there's like a dent right there. That would be a good spot to cut it so you can just get rid of the dent. And then now they're going to fit onto my Reese's cup nicely. And one thing you can do is you could just run your thumb over it to get rid of kind of any little scratches or any blooming where it turns colors. There we go. And so now what I can do is I can get some melted chocolate and put it on there. And then I can just stick it right here, and it sticks really well too. That melted chocolate is a great glue. There we go. There we go. That sticks real nicely. So I'm going to let that one chill because I'm going to start working on this one that I prepared earlier. And I have a little cookie right here, so I'm going to put a little chocolate right there, and it's going to make it stick. Once you have the melted chocolate in your bag, you do tend to work pretty quickly. All right, so now I have an M&M. This is going to be his nose. There we go. Goes right there.
It's just right.
All right, so he's going to have, I got to slide that over just a little bit. So now he's going to have some eyeballs. So I'm using my tip 12 and some white frosting for the main part of the eyeball. And now I'm going to practice a little bit. It's really helpful to practice before you start working on these things. So here goes. Here's some practice. You can see where I pretty much keep it in the same spot for a little bit. And then after you do that, you can actually go back and you can tap it with your finger to make it go into the shape that you want. And then I can come, this is right here I have my tip 5. And I can actually do some little dots. So this is really good to practice before you go into doing this. All right, so now that I practiced, I'm going to do it on here. I tend to put his eyes pretty close together. There you go. You can touch it and squeeze it if you want it to get a little bigger.
Mouse.
Yeah. I could tap it a little bit to get it to go where I want it to go. And now I can use, like we said earlier, my tip 5 to make some dots. There's his face. All right, so I have my cupcake. The chocolate one is good because everything matches with the brown. And so I have this brown frosting right here. Of course, you could use chocolate. I just happen to have the brown frosting. So with these cupcakes, it was a really cold day. So as you can see, it made a little bump, but that is very useful because now I can have a nice shape to build his body off of. So I'm just going to make circles here. I'm just going to kind of like build it up. All right, so at that point, I could kind of move it around and see for myself where I want the front to be. That looks like a good front for me. All right, and so you're probably thinking about a particular emoji, but it will change very soon.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I knew you would. Oh, here we go. I hope it looks good from the front because I'm kind of doing things backwards. I have these toothpicks right here. I'm just going to put 2 of them down into the cupcake so that we can have a support behind his head. Here's a second one.
So you're not stabbing him, you're actually just putting it back there and let it like rest.
Yeah, I'll turn it around so you can see it. That's what it looks like back there.
Wow. Very nice.
All right. Okay. I can make some. So now I have a heart candy, and so I'm going to put that right there. And there's lots of different heart candies this time of year, so you can use pretty much any of them that you find around. Or you could even use some fondant to make a little heart. And I have some chocolate-covered nuts, so you can put that here. Those are his little hands. There you go. And there is our Valentine's Day bear. You're a very cute bear.
You should put a smile on his face with the black icing. That's cute. Well, thank you, Dana.
And I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day.
I know we will.
What's in the oven? Like, subscribe, and comment.